Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are in some potent times of transformation, both personally and globally, and this is a great thing. But change can be very difficult to navigate because the mind doesn't understand what's going on. In fact, the mind is terrified by change, and so oftentimes it can actually talk us out of taking that big leap forward and stepping onto our soul's highest path. So if you feel like you can relate to this, be sure to stick around. If you are enjoying this content and finding value, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, it really helps me to get this message to more and more people. And leave me a comment down below as well. Let me know what kind of transformation you have been experiencing in your life these past few months as well. Now, as many of you are probably aware, it is eclipse season, and you don't necessarily need to believe in astrology or be well versed in astrology. I know personally, I never really paid attention to this stuff until these past couple of years when I started to become more and more spiritually attuned, more cleaner physically through diet and lifestyle, and I just noticed I started to feel these energies more and more strongly. It felt like I was just connected to the universal forces, and this is why I wanted to make this video, is because I felt this past eclipse so strongly, and I know you guys probably did to some degree or another. And I know I'm a day late with this, but we are going to continue to feel these energies for the next few weeks, and hopefully you will be able to harness them for your highest good and your highest transformation. And so I think this has been a big theme of 2024 in general. I know for me, I've been tossed about, completely beat up and thrown around by some of the energies of 2024. Feels like I have died and been reborn many times over. Maybe you've been experiencing this too this year. I think this has been a really challenging and difficult year for a lot of people in many ways. And I do believe that there is a higher purpose behind this, but it can be very uncomfortable, very difficult. I think 2024 has been a year of endings, kind of the closing of chapters. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe you've lost a loved one, maybe you've lost a job, whatever it is for you. I think so many of us are kind of dying to the old in order to be reborn into a life that's completely new. We're being asked to release the old, outdated parts of us in order to make room in our lives for even better things. And sort of this energy of we have to break down in order to break through. And I think we are being upgraded and prepared for something very, very big to come. But this time in particular, eclipse season, it seems like people are really feeling it at a very deep level. Things are being brought to the surface to be revealed so that we can become aware of them. And this is what eclipses are all about. They are times of destiny, times of fate, when the stars and the universe align to present us with this portal for evolution and expansion and transformation. It's a time for us to let go of our baggage, what's no longer serving us. Really just becoming aware, releasing old things so that we could step onto the path of our highest destiny and our highest service to humanity. And so especially during this a super full moon lunar eclipse, our inner world is really going to be illuminated so we can become aware of these things that are holding us back, that we need to let go of for good. And so maybe for you it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a bad habit having to do with health or productivity. I know for me, what I've been asked and shown to release is old limiting thought patterns and belief systems. And these are very deep. I have experienced these since early childhood. There's likely a genetic or an ancestral component to these as well, but it's this it feels like this burning up of karma, this purifying flame. And what I've noticed is, as I'm sitting here and feeling all these old energies move through my body and release, my mind starts to enter these old loops again, the same limiting thoughts that, oh, this will never work out. Um, nothing ever, nothing goes my way. I never get to do what I want to do so I can be happy. I never get what I want. Nothing ever goes the way that I plan for it to go. All these negative loops, and I'm sure that you have maybe your own flavor of these beliefs because we all carry them. It's a part of being human, if you ask me. But I'm noticing my mind going into these old repetitive loops, and I have to remind myself that I observe these thoughts, and just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's happening right now. It doesn't mean it was ever true. It's just my mind's interpretation of the events of my past. And so it doesn't mean that I necessarily interpreted things correctly in my childhood. And this is today's message, is that the mind will fool us. The mind is not meant to understand our soul's highest path forward. It's not built to understand and grasp the concept of transformation and change. The mind is really only designed for one thing, and that's our survival. It can't see the possibility of any different future, because the mind, what it does is it takes the stories from our past, the way we interpreted things to be, and it superimposes them onto our future. It projects out this idea of the way things are going to go. It says, because this is the way things went in the past, maybe I experienced disappointment and frustration and pain and rejection. And what the mind does is it takes the worst case scenario and it says, you need to be prepared to experience this in the future, because if I don't prepare, I'm going to be caught off guard. And this is the one thing that the mind doesn't want, is to be caught off guard. It's trying to protect you from this pain, and so it takes the past and it projects it out into the future. It cannot understand the things that you are truly destined for. It cannot grasp that incredible job opportunity, the amazing relationship that awaits you, the family life that you've always dreamed of, the home, the life of freedom and fulfillment. And this is what we have to understand about the mind. Maybe you actually can feel the resistance in your body. You feel stuck. And this can be an interesting exercise, as if you feel your future. You kind of step into your future as if you already had everything you wanted, as if you all these great things had already happened. And what you might be able to sense is these feelings of resistance in the body, this tightness. Usually it's in the lower energy centers, the lower chakras, so you'll feel it in the groin, the hips, the lower back, but you could feel it in the body. And these are the things that are blocking you. These are the energies and the emotions and the traumas that are getting in the way of you stepping into this future. And so these are the things that are great to release and sort of burn up during these full moons or eclipses, to use these energies of transformation. And so the thing to understand, whether it's the old thought patterns or the feelings in the body, is that we actually have a choice whether we are going to believe it or not. The first step is to become aware of it and to become the observer of it, so we realize that we are not these emotions, we are not these thoughts. We might have perceived them to be true in the past, but it doesn't mean they were actually true about us or about life. And so when we choose to believe the mind's old stories, we end up keeping ourselves stuck in the same loop, the same life, the same reality. And this becomes very frustrating and repetitive. We talk ourselves out of taking action, taking steps forward, taking that leap of faith towards the life that we really want. But we also have the choice to not believe the mind, to just let the mind do its thing and run on, talk away, chatter away, run its old programs and stories, and we can just leave it there, not give it any credence, not give it any power. And what we'll find is it slowly starts to quiet itself. We can feel the fear and the resistance in the body, and observe it and choose to do the thing anyways that scares us, because this is usually where our greatest potential for growth lies, is in the things that scare us. These are the areas where our soul is trying to expand, to express itself more fully. And so this is how we can keep moving forward in spite of the resistance and the fear and the old stories. And I think the biggest thing to know is that you don't need to understand how things are going to unfold, how you're going to get to where you want to be. You don't need to predict exactly how everything is going to go and make a plan with the mind to get there. You just need to have the intention of the experience, the inner experience that you want to have. So what emotions do you want to feel? What kind of connection or love or joy or fulfillment? We don't have to have all the details of how we're going to make that amount of money, or how we're going to meet that dream person or buy that house. In fact, if we could predict it, this would be a bad thing, because if you are a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza, you'll know one of the things he says all the time is, if we can predict something, if we can predict the way something is going to go, it means it's coming from the predictable past. And if it's coming from the past, that means we're going to relive the same situations and circumstances that we always have throughout our life. And so he says, if you want a new future, it has to come from the unknown. And so that means the mind's not going to be able to predict how it's going to come, how it's going to show up in our life, how it's going to unfold. If we want to create a new future, it must come from the potential of the unknown, the quantum. And so this is really what faith is trusting in the unknown, to know that our deepest desires are already realized. They're already here, already now. We just need to call them in to our field, into our reality. And I think so often, I know for me, it can feel like I want this thing, but I can't have it. So there's kind of sort of this separation between where I am now and where I want to be. There's this constant pressure that if I want to get here, that I have to do more here, and just sort of this feeling of angst that I have to keep moving forward. But really, it's the opposite. It's what we need to embody, the thing that we want, and we need to understand that the desires that have been put on our heart are put there for a reason. So I think so many of us, our desires and our reality feel so separate from one another. It feels like we'll just never get from where we are to that desired life. And so the thing that I want you to know is that if you desire financial freedom, if you desire incredible relationships, friendships, romantic partnerships, if you desire to travel the world and explore, no matter what it is for you, you are desiring it for a reason. You could say this is your fate, this is your destiny. And even though it feels like you are so far away, know that this is your path. This is where you're headed, and it may not unfold in a day or a week, but these things, these ideas, they inspire you and they light you up for a reason, because they're meant for you. And this is your journey, is becoming the person that can receive those things. This is the joy of expansion and growth, and the thing that we really came here to enjoy and appreciate is the journey of getting there. And so we really want to be happy and fulfilled in the present, so that when we finally do reach the things that we desire, our happiness and our joy will just be enhanced. We will break out of the trap of always wanting to get somewhere else, and never really being happy with where we're at or with what we have. And so I want to encourage you to just walk around Step into your life right now as if your dreams were already a reality, as if your wishes were already fulfilled. It is the emotion and the energy that is important, not the details of how we're going to get there through the mind. These things, they're already yours. They're meant for you. And so embody the feeling of already having it, and you will start to radiate into the world and into other people's life. You will radiate love, and you will radiate joy and freedom and abundance. And when you start to radiate these energies, you will draw more of them to you. You will draw the perfect opportunities, the perfect people, the perfect support, the creative solutions, and all the inspiration you need that will guide you to take the next step and the next step and the next step. And that is how we step into the life that we truly desire and the life that is destined to be ours. So thank you for watching today's message. If you are looking for further guidance, maybe one-on-one coaching, I do have openings available. I'll put the details in the description down below. You can also check out my website or the description for some other great free resources. This is not an easy path to navigate, and so I commend you. You have my highest respect. I am here to support you as we all journey together. And so let me know if there's any content you would like to see in the future, if there's anything that I can do to support you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.